Hey, Damon, happy Friday, man.
Well, we're a little late today, Kurt. We had some technical difficulties, and for the first time in a long time, we've had a guest that had a little bit of a challenge. There's a scheduling challenge. We're not going to be on here today, but I am excited to be here with you today. I see we've already got Gary Wood out there who's got a comment in there for us. Thanks, Gary. Glad you were here. I hope you're still here, but we're getting started today because we were going to talk a little bit about HighLevel. And for those that don't know, we're here today. It's Friday. It's time for manufacturing e-commerce success, and we're going to do what we can do. We might have a short show today, but I'm Damon Pastolka. I'm one of your co-hosts. That pretty gentleman right over there just like to rub the head. Kurt Anderson, let's get this away, man.
I feel pretty today, Damon. Thank you, man.
Good.
Yeah,
you look glowing.
Glowing.
You're simply glowing.
I'm glowing because I got two things behind me, right? So that's
yes, natural light.
Thank you. Yeah, so it helps the shine.
Mm-hmm.
It helps the shine. So I'm a little extra shiny today. Yeah. So all right, let's dive in. So HighLevel. What on earth is HighLevel?
That's what I would like to know. No, actually, HighLevel is something that we've used a lot in our companies, and it's something that we want to share with people today a little bit more. We actually, we had Rob and Alex scheduled today, couldn't make it. We'll get them scheduled later to be here to talk about HighLevel. And HighLevel, and I'm not going to put it in sorry, I put it right in the stream. I didn't do that, but HighLevel is a complete marketing system that really came out of the need that Robin found in 2018 and earlier when he was running a marketing firm. And he looked around and saw that there were a lot of things that weren't all tied together. They were using a lot of separate systems. And as he was telling us on recent conversations and learning more about it, he partnered up with some people that knew how to develop a product, and they put this thing together. And really, they've got a little bit different marketing spin and how they sell their product. And it's a SaaS product like many of these are. But what we've really found by just using is that it's an effective tool. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, we're all looking for effective tools, and it's effective and it's efficient, both from time you're going to spend into it to what it's going to cost you to use it. So.
Yeah. And our friend Dave Chrysler says one of three things, right? To really, scale your business, take things to the next level, I guess, high level, right?
Yeah.
Take it to the next high level is how do we eliminate, or you need to delegate, or you need to automate. So I think today, Damon, why don't we dive into, so for friends out there that are not familiar with, it's a software tool called Go HighLevel, or AKA HighLevel, and feel free to Google it, check it out. It is an incredibly powerful, fantastic tool for people to take advantage of. But if you check out HighLevel, and so let's dive into the dashboard and why don't we run through a couple of different examples. And so, Damon, as you're pulling it up, like we use it for our LMS, our learning management system. We use it for our CRM, our customer relationship management system. We use it for scheduling. We use it it's just all of our automation for social posts.
Yes, it is. It is quite an interesting tool for sure. I want to say, hey, Gabe's here today. Gabe
is in the house.
Live streaming legend right there, Gabe.
Live streaming legend. Happy Friday, Gabe. Appreciate you, brother.
MD's here today.
MD.
Thanks for stopping by. So yeah, we're going to share a little bit about HighLevel now, and really, this is an interesting part of it. This is a company that we used to play with, and my lack of creativity, I called it Teddy's Bears. Don't know. It was late night when I was doing this, right? But the heart of this system, like many others, is the CRM. It's got your contacts in it, right? You have contacts in it, and they're in here. They're like many of them. So you can go into a contact. I can add a new contact into this very simply. And the thing that you can do with contacts in here, which is pretty powerful, is I can tag them for different things that they've done, how they've come to us, how they've done things. And it's, so you've got that base CRM system in there when you can do that to keep the information about people.
Mhm.
Then you look at some of the things that they have that I find incredibly useful is the fact that you can do opportunities, or they call them pipelines. We were a long time pipe drive user before we switched, because the pipelines are very good when you're tracking a limited number of deals. What stage are they at? What's going on? You know, if I've got outreach campaigns, who responded, what are all kinds of stuff you can do. And you can build unlimited amount of pipelines. You can add different stages to them, all different kinds of things that you normally in any CRM can put to it.
Mhm.
But again, the thing that we like about HighLevel is this is all integrated together. I'm not talking about 2 or 3 different systems.
Mhm.
And that's the real thing that we've seen a benefit in for these kind of things. And when you look at some of the other just practical features that we use a lot, the calendars function, I think, is one of the most powerful in it, because
Yeah.
it gives you the ability to sync with your Google Calendar or your Microsoft Calendar. So if you're using Office 365 or using Gmail as your main calendar application, it'll sync with your calendar, but you can create literally as many as you want of different kinds of calendars that could be associated with, I want to have office hours for my clients Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 to 9 a.m.
Mhm.
And that's the only time they can book. That's the only availability you're going to give on that. Or you could have a general calendar that you lay out there that, hey, any 8 to 5, if I'm open, you can book. And I'm going to give you 30 minutes or whatever it is, and it'll connect with things like Zoom or like Microsoft Teams. So if you're going to do virtual meetings, you can send them the links automatically as well. Which,
Hey, Damon, real quick right there. If you don't mind, why don't I'll share and let me pull up. I'll show everybody example of how we are using it.
nice.
And let's see, I've got it right here. So let me just show. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so for example, if you go to, let me move this around. So, as we book our guests on our live show, we use HighLevel right here. So let me just move this and get this.
Just a great use of it.
And so, now what we've done is we've created our own web page. So now we're branding it, trying to make it look professional. So it's not just the typical, the Calendly or like that little
Yeah.
calendar box. Now I've got the calendar down here that people can grab the date, but we've got it up here. And so again, this is for our, manufacturing e-commerce success live streaming. And so, now dude, for years I was always like, hey, could you come on our show? Like, hey, what are you doing on this Friday? Or what are you doing? So I spent
Coordinating calendars.
so much time I wasted of my time, my life time I can't get back, and wasted our guest time by, hey, are you busy here? Okay, could you come on here? Well, now all we do is we just send this out, and we've got a little, hey, first off, thank you. We're absolutely thrilled. Number 2, hey, grab a date. Number 3, here's this. We're going to give you the link to come on live. And then number 4, we go live. And so then what the person can do is they come down here, and so they can grab a date of, exactly when that slot for our live stream show is. And now they're all set. I don't have to do a thing. You don't have to do a thing. They get the calendar invite, and then we have a schedule, an automated schedule set up of reminders leading right up into the time of the show. So like the time saving for us has just been tremendous. I just cannot speak high enough of what this has done for our systems.
Yes. And that's the one that we're really, today with the live streaming, that's a huge time saver. And like you said, we can go through some of these other features, because when you look at this calendar setting like this, the power of this really is expanded when we look at the automation capabilities that you have inside of HighLevel, because now I can make workflows that go, this is what happens when someone does this. So in these instances, and they set them up as triggers. So you're going to have a trigger. So if someone books that appointment for this kind of appointment, because you make your different calendars, so they booked a time on manufacturing e-commerce success, you can set up your trigger being, if someone books that, this is what it does next. It could add a tag to their contact. So, hey, that was a guest on manufacturing e-commerce success. It could send them, thanks for booking your time on the manufacturing e-commerce success. Here's what will happen. We do that. And then when the event gets closer, it can remind them.
Right.
It also in here, the really nice thing is when we make our event and get it built in StreamYard, all we have to do is go into HighLevel and update the calendar event with the location being the URL for the streaming event.
Yep.
Like today, like whatever our URLs in StreamYard is. And then that's updated in the calendar meeting event. And it's also emailed out to them in subsequent follow-ups.
Yep.
It's just so much fun to be able to do this as we go through these things.
Yep. Hey, so, we've got a few questions, and it looks like somebody joined us here.
Yes, we did.
So
we'll get some questions, but we'll get Robin online here. But I want to drop this off, and we'll get him going.
Awesome.
Hey, Robin, how are you doing today?
Hey, Robin, happy Friday, man. How are you, dude? Hey,
good,
Robin. Hey, we've got Robin Alex in the house here. Robin,
yes.
Perfect timing, man. We're doing a little demo on. Have you heard of this company called HighLevel? And we're doing a little demo on this little CRM software tool, and we've got some questions in the chat box. So this is, if you don't mind, we're going to tee up these questions, and then we'll come back. We'll do an intro. We had a little intro set up for you, and I know we ran into some challenges, but let's dive into a couple of these questions that people have been asking here. So
yeah.
Our buddy Gabe asks, Gabe, thank you, man. Thank you for popping in here. Wow, this sounds like one great tool. Are there any disadvantages either one of you have seen? So, Robin, maybe, I don't know if you want to answer that.
I'll tell you the disadvantage I see is looking in the mirror.
Yeah. Yeah, is the disadvantage is that I took two or 3 years to finally come around to it. So, yes. Robin, what are I don't know if you can speak, modestly or, frankly, like what disadvantages would you say about your own software company? Tool.
We are a growing company, and we love building tools. We continuously add new teams to build new functionality into the product. I'd say one of the biggest challenges is that it can be overwhelming. When you get into the product, we have so many different tools, so many different things that you can get, that overwhelming feeling of like, oh my gosh, like where do you even start? What I always recommend people, it's focus on the small little wins. So what's the one thing that you can do? What was the main reason or the one tool that you were looking for when you were shopping for it? Get that set up. And, from there, you just start adding building blocks to it. We can do everything else that's, that's out there, but you just need to focus on the small things. And if you don't even know that, but you just need a tool that can do all these things, if you were to start, just get the widget on your website, set up a phone number, start doing some two-way texting, and put your database in and just text everybody, and you'll quickly get some wins in rebuilding and bringing back some of your customers. So there's a lot of small things that you can do, but don't try to tackle the world. And I'd say that's probably the biggest challenge that I've seen people run into.
Well, I love it. And so, Damon, let's grab. Hey, Jeff's got a comment here. This is something I need for my business. Totally agree. And then let's come back to Gabe real quick. Gabe says, I'm really strict on my time, so this sounds super useful. Average cost monthly, Damon?
Yeah, I mean, I think I haven't looked lately, but isn't it like $97 a month for the intro package that has most of the features you're going to need? So
it's $100 a month. We try to give every tool, other software companies, when they build new functionality, it's like, you have to progressively add on packages or whatever. We've always struggled with it because it's like, once we build gold, we want to give it out to everybody. So we're pretty lax in what we give out. So we give out all the functionality, and that's everything there. The only thing that you'd want to upgrade to is maybe you have multiple businesses.
Yeah.
And so, what we give at the 97 one, actually, we really don't tell a lot of people this. It's intended for one, but we actually give you the ability to put 3 in there. We've always looked at it as, you want to come in, your first one, you just want to break it and take it apart and all that. So then you set up your second one, which will be more of a clean one. And then your third one would be like, maybe I want to templatize this because I'm building it for turning it into an agency or something like that. But at $97, we give you all the tools and everything there. Have it for your main business. The only other charge that would be out there, it's if you need any AI functionality or texting or emailing, but we give you those at wholesale rates. We're not, really trying to make money on it. We just want to give it to you at the best rates possible, and you just pay as you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I love it. Hey, Damon, we got Nikki drops by. Nikki, happy Friday. Thank you for joining us. Do us a favor, connect with Robin here on LinkedIn, connect with Damon, connect with myself, but check out HighLevel. And then one more question from Gabe. He says, is there a free trial? I'm interested for sure. As a matter of fact, I was going to pull up the HighLevel website real quick, and we have a couple of things going on, Robin, but what's your answer for Gabe here on the free trial?
Yeah, actually, do you guys have a special link? If not, we can.
I can put one up there and do that when we in the comments. I'll drop the link in the comments for you, Gabe, and we'll do that.
Yeah. So Gabe, click that special link. You know, we do have a 15-day trial. I'm sorry, 14-day trial, and immediately when you sign up, you're going to see a whole bunch of messages about jumping on with our team. So we have a 24/7 team of about 250 people around the world where they want to get on a Zoom call with you and just walk you through the product, show you all the cool features and functionalities around it. And if it's the right product for you, let them know and they'll give you some additional discounts and things like that if it makes sense or you continue the trial. But then immediately when you convert and become a customer, we have a whole implementation team that's there ready to go for free. Same thing. You jump in a Zoom call 24/7. It could be Sunday at 3 a.m. You know, everyone's busy, right? Sunday at 3 a.m. You can jump in. We have people on standby. They'll bring you into a Zoom room and they will help you get the product set up for you.
Yeah.
I tell you, this is crazy. Look at 60,000 customers. So, Robin, let's since thank you for joining us. We appreciate it immensely. And
I so apologize. I lost track of time,
Hey,
and I was like, "Oh, I'm supposed to be." I saw your email. I was like, "Oh no,
don't
run!"
worry, man. Don't worry. So, let's go here, man. So, just give us a little background on how brainchild behind HighLevel. What's going on there?
How did it come about?
Yeah. So, there's a couple different paths in what got us to where we are today. So, I personally have been a entrepreneur, since a young age. But right before HighLevel, I actually launched a marketing agency, and we specialized in helping businesses grow. When I first started with it, was really helping people, build websites, databases, systems, and things like that. But I ran into the problem of feast and famine. And what that means is, I'd pick up a big project, do well with that project, and then once I'm done, I'm just like, what do I do next? And I really want to get out of that rat race. And so we started focusing more in building teams around helping people at the top of the funnel. How do we help these businesses grow their business, like actually grow their businesses? And this is where we started getting more into advertising strategy, branding, basically everything that you need to do to truly grow a business. And we did incredibly well, grew to about 20, 25 people. But I did hit a max capacity issue in the perspective of as many customers as we brought on and provided success from our eyes, it wasn't success in their eyes because business owners can receive a whole bunch of leads and contacts and they don't know what to do with it. They know how to be the best at their business. They don't know how to be the best at selling what they do in that business. And so I was caught at this really weird point in like, okay, do I dip my toes into actually strategically helping them grow their business? Like, I need to sit down with them. I need to coach them how to be a salesperson, how to pick up the phone, how to dial these contacts back and get them to do in a meeting. Do I need to teach them that, or do I go out and sell more? And so I ended up going down the path and helping businesses. And so we built up all these tools and automations to really help businesses, right? So when a lead comes in from their website, we'll automatically text on their behalf, send out a couple of emails, really try to gauge the interest, and then automatically send that individual to a calendar link so that they can book a time. Well, we need to make sure that person shows up. So then you send appointment reminders and everything. So we did all these things, but it was like gluing 15 different products along the way. But we had a phenomenal system. And then by sheer luck, I received a call from a customer of mine who said, "Hey, I got a cold call from these two guys. They're launching a new software. They don't know how to access things. I don't even know what to access them. You're my marketing team. Can you talk to them and get them set up?" So I called them, gave them all the access that they needed, and I was like, "Well, I have you. What are you guys doing? Like, what is the product?" And they had a very basic reputation management software at the time, and it worked great. But they very similar challenge. They couldn't really get businesses to lean into it. So I basically told them like, "Well, here's what I'm doing, and I'm building all these tools and stuff." And they're like, "Okay, well, that's interesting. Give us a couple of days, and we'll call you back." Well, one of those things when someone tells you they're going to call you back in a couple of days, I just figured they were just trying to get off the phone and move on. But by chance, they called me back 3 days later, and Sean basically was like, hey, I took your concepts and I think we kind of have a way that we can build it all. And they built a proof of concept, and I saw it, and it was really amazing. And I basically was like, let me take it, let me roll it into one or two clients, and we did it, phenomenal success. And then I basically said, I want to buy it for my whole company. And so we had about 80 customers at the time, ended up buying it for all of them. It transformed my business. And I basically told them, look, how can I help you guys? You guys really changed the game here. And, took in the IP that we built, and you guys kind of systemized it a little bit cleaner. And it was, oh, well, let's just kind of work together and see if we can get out to more businesses, more agencies and things like that. And so from there, I started picking up the phone and calling people that I knew, and just seeing if we can get buy-in from it. Everybody loved it, and one of those actually turned into be a person who was running a conference for businesses. He invited us. We pitched it. It was the first time all three of us as partners met in person, and we pitched it. It was a room of 20 people, and there's 20 people virtually, and everybody in the room purchased it. 19 of the people virtually purchased it, and the 19th or the 20th person ended up coming in a week later. And I remember that pitch. We were just going through the product. We didn't know what we were supposed to do. We just did a demo of it. It's completely quiet, and we're like, okay, I guess it's time for us to sit down. So as we were sitting down, people were like, no, 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 we have a couple questions, and then people just kept asking questions. That whole event turned into just everyone talking about the software, and it was just phenomenal. And then from there, we've been word of mouth. um, from that point, everyone has just been talking about how great the software is. And yeah, I mean, today the numbers are actually a little outdated on the website. I think we're closer to 75,000 um, direct customers.
Mhm.
We work with a lot of agencies. A lot of businesses work with us as well. But in total, I think we're serving about 3 million businesses worldwide now.
Wow. And it's incredible. I love the story because this is why I like it, because you were already doing this with a bunch of dissimilar systems, pulling all this stuff together, and then you created a tool out of need that worked better for you as a marketing company, as helping these businesses really grow. And it wasn't like, I was just on a call this morning with something about somebody that went off and built a SaaS that they thought was really good and useful for the market, and come to find out that people don't want to buy it. I mean, you had a solid need that you knew needed to be filled, and you were met the right people to fill that.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe in fate in many ways. Finding the right people at the right time and having the right need. We definitely lucked into it. But yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's once you find the problem. I mean, for us, anytime that someone tells us there's a challenge or a product, we're just gonna bother you until we solve that problem. Like, do we solve it yet? Nope. All right, let me try to choose another way. And we'll continue developing applications, developing software, making enhancements and features. I mean, we release things probably 4 or 5 times a day,
Yes.
and really trying to evolve the software. Because all we do is listen to problems. And I used to joke that we're just glutton for punishment, right? Like we just love getting punched in the face every day, telling how we could do better. But we're open arms to it, and that's kind of our culture and ethos of the business now.
Yes, and I see the updates almost like you said, it's multiple times a day. It says, "Hey, there's a new update. Just refresh your data." Boom.
Yeah,
There's something new happening. You look at the notifications. There's a stream of we've changed all this stuff and made it better every single day,
yeah.
which is
I mean,
exciting.
it's never perfect, right? It's always trying to evolve and make it better best as we can, because businesses are also changing, right? The
Yes.
business need the way you're thinking about it. So we just want to make sure that we're keeping up with the latest and greatest, so that we can help you win.
Yeah.
Yeah, Robin. So who? Let's dive in a little deeper. And so and I know you have a big event coming up in October.
Yes.
For the entrepreneur out there, maybe the marketer, solo marketer, marketing team, who is the ideal person that really should be considering high level as a solution?
It, it's a tough question. Mostly in the perspective of we have so many different tools.
Mhm.
Right? And so depending on who you are and what you're trying to accomplish, we have the tools for you to come in and be able to do it. If you're on the operation side of the house and you're looking to automate workflows or work streams, because I always get, at 4 p.m. I always get a batch of orders that come in, and I need to figure out a way to automate it so that it can create labels for me and do this and do that. Well, we have tools that can actually help you solve that. If you are running a sales team and you want to be able to call thousands of leads because you're buying leads from lead aggregators, or needing to make power dialing calls, you can do that. Maybe you lead the marketing team, and you need to, manage the website or build a new website, create email automations and drip campaign because you're trying to pull out newsletters. All of that there. Maybe you're the business owner and you're needing to just kind of oversee everything all in one place. And the capability to be there. Maybe you just need something simple. I just need the ability to communicate with my customers. So I just need a place where I can build a form, and when someone comes to my website, they fill out the form, I just want to two-way text them. That's it. We can do that as well. So I don't necessarily know that we have one specific avatar of, who the right person is. It just come our way and we have a solution for you.
Right. So just raise your hand and ask. So just if you're a solo marketer, solopreneur, and what we were doing is we were doing a little demo showing. And so Damon, I don't know if you want to pull that back up, and maybe Robin could give us even a different perspective. But do you want to pull the
Yeah, I
demo
will.
up?
This is one of them that we use. I have a fake. Well, sorry, I just shut it off. Let me share it here again. So
And hey, Damon, while you're pulling that up, our buddy Gary asked a question here. Look, we got a couple questions in the chat. I just noticed.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm a solopreneur. Is this platform for me, Robin? What do you say there?
100%. I mean, we have many solopreneurs. I mean,
Yes.
at the end of the day, you're in business, and you need a central place to organize your business and do the things that, to be quite honest, that I know a lot of solopreneurs that's leveraging our tool, and they're outputting way more than large teams because
Yes.
you're able to
Yeah.
automate so much of it.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's funny because we're working with a new client recently. They're in the brewery industry, and they're a team, and just kind of overwhelmed, a lot going on, so on and so forth. And I'm like, well, I might have something. I might have a solution for you, because I'm like, I'm a solopreneur, and it's like we feel like we've really we strive diligently to create those processes and those systems, and that's where HighLevel just really marries and complements. If you can if you can discipline yourself, and it just makes your life so much easier. Here's a question from our buddy Skyler. Skyler, happy Friday, dude. Thanks for stopping by. Do you have an ISV network? I apologize. What is an ISV network? So Robin, are you familiar with that?
I think I am, but in some industries, the ISV network is basically saying, "Hey, is it applicable for me to resell it?" And by the way that we built the platform, we do have a higher plan that allows you to take the platform. You can templatize it and brand it with whatever you want. It's 100% white labeled, and we give you the tools to resell it, and you can resell it 100%, whatever you want, down to where I mentioned earlier. If you come in as a business, that we can give you wholesale rates. Well, you can actually mark all that up for your industry because maybe it's important. I actually was talking to a customer of ours who they took our whole platform and white labeled it and made it specially created for politicians. And what they did was, not only is that a CRM for politicians, they're sending out text messages. The politicians are being charged 10 cents per message, and because it's political, all the groups are paying for it. This person's making millions of dollars because everybody's saying,
oh, that's
vote.
funny. That's
that is great.
So a couple comments. So Skyler, hopefully if we answer that. So he says independent service vendors, app plugins, and then one last thing he says, looking for integration.
That's
we are always looking for integration partners. Check out there's a couple of things. You can go to directory.gohighlevel.com, and these are our certified partners, people that have been tested and vigorously tested by HighLevel. So you can see a full list there. You can also go to marketplace.gohighlevel.com, and these are third-party integration plugins and tools that have built and been certified by HighLevel. And when you're in the product, you can actually click these tools as well.
Yes.
Excellent. Hey, and hey, Damon, our friend Giselle's in the house. She's coming to us from Miami. So hey,
I know the answer for this, but we got Robin here answering the question, so it'll be even better.
For our audio friends, let's just we'll belt out the question here. Does it integrate with Shopify?
Yeah, this is the layup. The answer is yes, and so we can do a lot of cool things with it. Where you can do cart abandonment tools, with the emails and things like that. You can send out thank you emails. You can even put the widget on the Shopify website and communicate with people. But yeah, we 100% integrate with Shopify.
Hey, and guys, do us a favor, Skylar, Giselle, Gary, drop your websites in the chat box here, because these guys are doing some amazing work, putting out incredible solutions, products. Giselle has a wonderful, incredible product. People should be buying it left and right for gifts coming up here. So guys, drop your information, connect with Robin on LinkedIn, do us a favor, connect myself, connect with Damon. We'd love to hear what's going on. So Damon, do you want to, I'm sorry for that little roundabout, but keep the questions coming. Robin loves these questions. We love your questions. We'll keep the conversation going. But Damon, why don't you pull up your screen real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna say this is a dummy account that I put in ours, and I lack of creativity. That's why I call it Teddy's Bears, right?
I think that's very creative, Damon.
I don't know. Like I said, it was late at night, but we were talking through this, Robin, and how important this is for anyone really to have a, you got your contacts in here. You've got, as we were talking, the different tags you can add to contacts and all kinds of things. And I apologize because I'm not a great presenter of this, but I just think there's some powerful features. And we talked about the contact features, the tags that you can do when they come in, the multiple calendar things you can set up. Like if I want to have we talked about a certain office hours or general appointment times, you can limit. And Gabe talked about, he wants to be very specific with what the options he gives somebody and scheduling. It works so well for that. And you think about it, as we were talking to Solopreneur, it's a great thing.
If you're using something like a Calendly or an Acuity or something like that, the idea for us is we can do that, but then you can do more with it, right? Like it's one thing for someone to book time on your calendar, but you need to make sure that they show up. So you need to make sure that they get appointment reminders, right? 3 reminders before. Maybe you want to shoot them a text as well. Hey, 5 minutes, the 5-minute clock is on now, right? Like, so be there.
Yeah.
So being able to do that just guarantees the show rate. And so having that in there, and then taking that contact, putting it back in the CRM, because now you can do additional segmenting. Maybe you want to put them on a newsletter or, just longer nurture campaigns and things like that as well.
Yes. And that is great. And we mentioned that about how these custom calendar settings for things like that, if they book the appointment, then the automations take over and you can just work through these marketing flows and other things that can reach out to people. Like I said, this is the standard ones that are in these to date, where you get the triggers flowing through the different things. Like you said, it could be a reminder emails, it could be texts, it can be, actually, I think this is another one too, that the task list that you have in here is very helpful, especially if you've got a team or a virtual assistant that's helping you, because you can, as part of your workflow, say, okay, Damon, this is a task that you should complete, which is really good for us too. So yeah, good stuff in there.
Yeah. I mean, the easiest way to think about the workflows is, just in your business, when something happens, I need this to happen, right? And so that's usually what the triggers are, is when this happens. So what triggers this activity? And then you can create all the actions from there. So it's do these things. And to your point, right? Like maybe one of the steps is like, I need to tell this person that they need to go work off this checklist and cut out, check off all these 10 things before it triggers to the next step on there. And so you have all the flexibility from the easiest to the easy items. Hey, look at people's birthday, and when it hits, send them an email, wishing them happy birthday. You can do simple stuff like that, all the way to the most advanced things. I've seen people hook it up to Amazon delivery drivers and geo tracking them. And when they hit a certain mileage point, ping back to the system so that it alerts somebody else. Right? Like we've seen some of the most complex workflows that's out there, but it's as simple as just think of the common thing. When something happens in my business, do something else.
That's an awesome way to say it. It's an awesome way to say it. One more thing I think that the people listening will be really interested, or two things actually. We'll go through these quickly because we're near the 15 minutes after. When we talk about sites, one of the things that I really think is the forms, right? The forms are from years past, building a website form that is something, and getting to connect to your CRM and getting it to really work together. Like you talked earlier, Robin, about the power of HighLevel is that you can easily, simply build these website forms and embed them in your website in literally minutes. and all the information flows into your CRM and then can take advantage of all the automation and the other features.
Yeah.
Well, and Dave and Robin, we use that. So we have a course. And so, on top of it, you guys offer, it's an LMS system. So a learning management system. So we actually use HighLevel for a course that we offer. And it's right on our website. It's an e-commerce, tool for us. Somebody can click that link and go right to the course, sign up for the course, and it works. And we've a couple of folks that are in our course. As a matter of fact, Damon, we've got a couple more questions here for Robin. So, hey, Gary asked a question. What about ERP systems? How about that, Robin?
Yeah. So, this is an interesting one. We've actually seen people, when we talk about having the multiple locations, it's almost creating another one for just the employees and having all the contacts in there and turning it into, think of like a CRM, but it's more of the ERP components. Now, it's not going to be able to do payroll and stuff out of the box.
Yes.
However, we do have third-party integrations that allow you to connect into that. And there are third-party companies that have open APIs, or they have integrations that connect back and forth with HighLevel. So we play well with other ERP platforms. We don't have it natively in. That being said, we do have an ideas board. If you go to ideas.gohighlevel.com, and people request ideas on there, and our whole product team just look at that every single day. And so if we get a ton of people that's interested, maybe we'll build it.
Yeah, and again, go to guys, check out HighLevel, and there's a free 14-day trial. And as Robin said, customer service is off the chart. We found that from our experience. Another question here coming from our friend Gazelle: are tutorials on how to use HighLevel? Are there tutorials?
100%. So you can go to help.gohighlevel.com, and we have a whole knowledge base. But one of the things that I really recommend is going to our YouTube channel. We put out content nearly twice a day, 3 times a day. We do webinars, we do content sessions, we do tutorials, instructions, product releases. Like, that's one of our primary hubs. But the answer is yes. It's just
tons.
Incredible.
Yeah.
And I think, Robin, from maybe a non-techie, I'll say from a non-techie guy, it took me a while to get really acclimated. So, your tool offers so much that it can be overwhelming for folks. So I guess, when I think Gabe mentioned, like, what's a disadvantage? I think he asked, I think if you first sight, you can be like, man, it's doing so much. Like, it could be overwhelming for someone that's not super technical. What I would encourage folks to do is, like, look for the few things, like identify your biggest challenges. What are your biggest frustrations? And Robin, how we opened up, we have a dear friend who's a efficiency expert, comes on the show, and he teaches us 3 things. To scale your business, you need to either start eliminating tasks, you need to delegate tasks, or you need to automate tasks. And that's what we really wanted to focus on in the show today, is how to automate those tasks. So think about some of the things that, and Damon and I have a running joke. So for years, when we were booking guests on our show, I did it, hey, Robin, are you available on October 13th? Oh, no. How about, you and I would have a 5-way back and forth. Well, now, thanks to HighLevel, and before you popped on, we actually showed our calendar, our invite link. It's
landing page. Yeah.
Beautiful. But, it's a landing page. It's a step-by-step. The person can pick out. So, all of a sudden, like, my phone buzzes and I'm like, oh, good. Somebody just put, so-and-so, like, Skylar's coming on the show. I'm like, oh, cool. Skylar booked a date, So now you can just, think about the tasks that you would just, man, if somebody could magically remove these, or if I could automate these, and then, like, okay, now I've got this locked and loaded with HighLevel. Now I'm going to take the next step. Then I'm going to take the next step. So you can grow with it. Robin, your thoughts?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. One of the things that I always recommend to people is, as business owners, have you really taken a moment to the analogy that I use is the claw machine, right? Like, it starts up here and then you go down and you're playing in the weeds, right? Like, you're trying to get the toys and all this, and it's really hard. You never want to, in that game, you never want to pull yourself up, right? Like, you want to make sure you grab something.
Right.
But as business owners, it's our job to kind of pull it up to the top and look at the big picture. And so what I tell people is, who cares about software? Take all of it aside. Doesn't matter. As much as I love HighLevel and I know that it can solve anyone's problem, you can do what we do with gluing together 15 other pieces of products. So let's push that aside a second. What you need to think about is, have you mapped out your business from A to Z on a whiteboard? What is the very first thing that someone sees about your business? Maybe it's the website. Okay, well, what do you want it to do from the website? I need them. My ultimate goal is to call Okay, well, is that on the website? From the call, what should happen on that phone call? What are the hours? At what time of day? And like you just start mind mapping your whole business, right?
Yep.
And it might take hours because you have so many different entry points. Well, what happens during the day versus the night? Or what happens when like, and then when you get into the conversation streams, well, what happens when they say this versus that? Like if they're just calling in to find interest versus I want to sign a deal with you, well, those are two different operational flows there. And what do you need to happen in each one of those stages and things like that? So I've seen people map out super crazy mind maps and how their business actually works or how they want it to work. And when
Yeah.
you have it at that level, that becomes your blueprint. You can't build a house without a blueprint, right? And so as entrepreneurs, we sometimes skip over the blueprint. We're just like, I don't need the instruction manual. I'm just going. But like I said, with or without software, you should really take the time, build that blueprint. Then from there, it makes it very easy to compartmentalize. Like, you know what? I need a software. I want to focus on this little section right here. If that does it, that opens up 20% of my time again for me to start thinking as an entrepreneur or someone who's running an operation of some sort. So now when you come into high level, you just become very hyper focused to solve that one little chunk, right? Like you mentioned doing the webinar process when you're booking.
Mhm.
Kurt, I mean, how much time did that take
Oh.
versus now that it's operationalized, right?
And I'm not like I don't have skin in the game with you, so I'm not saying this because you're sitting here.
Oh, sorry, I gotta get this.
I called Damon in January. I'm like, dude, I'm like I'm like adjusting because I'm not sure to do with all my free time right now, so I mean, but what you did in all seriousness, you helped me like laser focus on other things. So then we created a course, and we're like, well, we could use Thinkific, or we could use all these, Kajabi, whatever, all these different tools. I'm like, dude, like we can put it all right in high level. So it's almost like,
Yeah.
like we're maximizing every opportunity. Again, we started here and went here and went,
Yeah, and you just start getting bigger and bigger,
we're
right?
all,
Yeah.
so like, and people that come on our calls, like we're all just solopreneurs, just, we're all, it's like our community is fighting relentlessly to help, rising tides lifts all ships. And we're all like, hey, let's, what are the hacks? What are the efficiencies? How can we help each other? We don't have corporate teams like, hey, there's so-and-so down the hall. Like, it's just us. And so that's what the beauty is, partnering with a team, someone like HighLevel that, again, pun intended, can help take us to a higher level just by making our lives that much easier,
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Okay. I know, like, man,
We
we're
could
trying
go
to
on for a long time. I mean,
Robin, you have a
big
big
fans.
event coming up. I was gonna, if you
Yeah,
didn't mind, I was
talk
gonna
about
pull. I wanted to pull that up in October real quick. So let me just share that. If you want to, do you want to give a shout out, or is that worth? Did you want to mention that?
Yeah,
on the website?
definitely. So
That'd be great.
we have our annual summit. It's gohighlevel.com/summit. We're having about 1,000 people come in from all over the world. We do a lot of different things at this event. I mean, not only do we do our big release announcement, Sean Vern and we get on stage, we talk about the direction of where High Level's going. We're going to drop a whole bunch of new features, talk about what we're doing in the next year, next 3 years, kind of just our vision. And it's really about making sure that we provide as much value to the attendees and to our customers as much as possible. So, we're going to have some really great speakers,
Yeah.
motivational speakers, expert speakers, and things like that. But then also technology speakers as well. So people that are going to talk about the product and different strategies and how to execute the product, or working in different industries, or really up-leveling your personal skills. The fun thing about it, we're very selective in who we pick as our attendees. They're actually all high-level users. And
Yeah.
so, it's not just hired guns to come in as speakers. These are all high-level, people that grew their business, whether high-level backed them and growing their business, or they're just, they've used it as a tool to help scale their business drastically. So we're super excited about it. It's going to be October 21 to 24. Like I said, we'll have amazing speakers. We'll take care of your food and everything, depending on what ticket that you get. We'll have incredible parties. So we try to make it just a fun experience. We know that people are traveling, from all over the world. I mean, the people from Australia. We had someone from Thailand who said they were traveling 8 days to get here. So we know it's a lot, not just from dollars and cents, but time. And so we respect that. So we want to make sure that we can jam pack as much value as possible. And we want to hear your stories. And so Sean Vern and we're walking around nonstop. We don't hide in the back. We're like out there. We want to shake everyone's hands. We want to hear your stories and tell us where we can improve and do better. So it's going to be a really phenomenal event.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, good. Well, all right, Robin, we'll start winding down. We've got some Andrew saying, hey, that's great. Giselle says big thank you to you. So
Yep.
we'll start winding things down. So I want to go here, as an entrepreneur, and you've had a killer career at your young age. And again, if I'm not mistaken, I think college football starts. You're a 12th man guy, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm an Aggie, so
He's a 12th.
college, yeah, college season starting up, and we'll see. You know how it is. It's either how good are you or how bad are you this year.
That's
So
right.
we'll
So,
see.
all right. So we're rooting for the Aggies for you, man.
Yeah.
So as we wind down, lots of entrepreneurs out there, best business advice that you've ever received or that you'd love to pass along. You've built this thriving community, just this powerful solution, the software solution. Damon and I firsthand, what a gift and an honor for
Yeah.
us to thank you personally for making our lives much
Yes.
easier, our businesses more, applicable, more efficient, more profitable, hopefully. Best business advice that you'd love to pass along.
There's so many, but I think the one that kind of has been resonating with me the past couple of days is stop playing the comparison game.
Mm,
Like a lot of times you're
That's
just
a
kind of
good one.
looking out and seeing like, oh, well, they're doing that and I'm not. So, and they're killing it. But, in reality, I think everybody's facing challenges, everybody's facing problems. And just because somebody else is doing something, that's fine. But you have to solve your problems and solve your issues. And it's okay. If business was easy, everybody would be doing it. And so
Yeah.
we signed up for this. So, it's just, keeping your head down and just keep going and don't try to build like, so, everyone talks about like, oh, you need to have this moonshot stat and that's what you're trying to drive for. Like, I need to make $10 billion or I'm not done. For me, it's just like, what is a small baby step? Can I just get this little incremental thing? And, when you keep your head down and just start building these little, smaller milestones, that for me personally creates a faster flywheel versus like constantly looking up and you make that goal so high that it looks like it's unachievable
mhm,
Hmm.
to where it almost gets depressing, right? Like
mhm.
just so far away. And so for me, one of the biggest things was stop comparing. Don't worry about what anyone else is doing. This is what's in front of you. Just take the cards that you've been dealt with and just what's a small improvement that you can do and just keep building up from there.
Yeah. And
Awesome.
powerful advice.
Yes.
Thank you. And again, just, I guess because you're sitting there and, go high level certainly can help you, reduce that overwhelm and take those first steps and make your life a little bit more efficient. So, hey, everybody sitting here, thank you for joining us today. And how about Damon? How about a huge round of applause for Robin here? Just absolutely
Thank
crushed
you.
it, hitting the
Awesome.
ball out of the
Awesome.
park.
Thank you.
And for everything that you do for entrepreneurs, thousands and thousands of entrepreneurs are just taking full advantage and just benefiting from HighLevel. So I just want to give everybody a huge thank you for joining us. I want to give a huge thank you shout out for Robin for what you're doing for entrepreneurs. And Damon, how about your thoughts, takeaways? How do you want to close this thing out today?
Well, I'm not going to go there because I'm so excited about this. I mean, I just every day learning more, and it's great stuff. But thanks for being here today, Robin. I just really appreciate you taking the time, and I appreciate everyone listening and the comments and the questions. I mean, because this is something that can definitely help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, big game changer. So, Robin, as we part ways, parting thoughts, words of wisdom, anything that you want to share as far as connecting with you, connecting with your team?
Yeah, I mean, first off, Kurt, Damon, thank you so much for having me on. I apologize for running late today.
No worries.
Yeah,
No worries, man.
No
yeah,
worries.
wires
All
got
good.
crossed there, but nonetheless, I'm glad to be here. And if there's anything I can do to support you guys, please let me know.
Yeah.
What you guys are doing is incredible. Helping businesses really win is what I love supporting and what I can lean into and provide support for anyone. I'm easily accessible. I'm on all social channels. You can reach out to me. And then HighLevel, go highlevel.com. Damon and Kurt, please drop your link.
We will.
And click that link. And like I said, as soon as you sign up, we're gonna be all over you. And hopefully we're not too aggressive about it, but really it's just we know it's overwhelming. Don't worry about it. We have a team that's going to support you along the way. So click that button, get on a Zoom call, and we'll give you all the resources. We'll walk you through it. We'll get on Zoom, share screen, and make sure that you're going to win. So yeah, I mean that's it. So whatever you guys need, just let us know.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Robin, just as a matter of fact, like literally right before we went on, I received an email from HighLevel, and like Damon said, it's constant, lunch and learns, educating. You
Yes.
guys are so fiercely dedicated to helping, solving, educating. And again, that's why you guys do things with integrity. We admire the work that you're doing. And so we appreciate you. So, all right, guys, let's wrap up. Hey, go out there, have an amazing, incredible, wonderful, safe Labor Day weekend. We wish you guys just enjoy family, just have fun, love, son, whatever you've got planned, and just go out and be someone's inspiration, just like this guy is for all of us. So, Robin, hang out with us for 1 second. We appreciate you guys. We will see you next week.
You bet. So everyone, thanks for being here today. And if you are listening and you came in late, go back to the beginning, because Robin dropped a lot of golden nuggets about HighLevel, a system you may want to consider, and just shared a lot of great advice. If you didn't make a comment, we love that you're out there listening. Keep listening. We appreciate you. And as Kurt said, we will be back again next week with another incredible guest. Thanks, everyone. We'll finish up offline.